So a lot of people ask about using Assistive Touch for time-lapse and stop motion type stuff, so I'm going to do a quick little video here. You're going to want to go in your settings into General, scroll down to Accessibility, right there. I'm going to go all the way down to Assistive Touch. I've got it on, but when you first come into it, it's off. You got to flip that little switch, turn it on. You're going to go down. I've got a bunch in there already, but you're going to need to make your own. Whoops. I've got too many. I'm going to have to delete one just to show you how to do this. Alright, so create new gesture. Alright, so this is the new gesture screen, and basically what's going to end up happening is you're going to want the shortest possible gesture you can make. So it tells you to touch to create a custom gesture. You're just going to tap it a little bit. Hit stop. And hit play just to check it out. You're going to want it to be as short as possible. It might take you a couple times, but just get it as short as possible. And save it. Give it a name. And pop back. This is your little Assistive Touch doohickey. Whenever you want to access it, you touch this little button, go into Favorites, and you can see the one we created is right there, T. Just a note, I've created a couple of different lengths for different stuff. The shortest one you can get about 180 frames per vine, and that's usually the best for doing stop motion and I guess moving vehicle type time-lapse things. You can do shorter. That's like 51 taps per vine. That's 16. That's somewhere around 6. So in any event, that's ours, and you'll see a little blue circle. For the time being, I think I can get away with just using that to get out of here. Alright, so go to Vine. Yep. Okay, so now you've got your Assistive Touch set up, and depending on what you're doing, you might want the ghost mode on, you might not. And it looks like we lost our little blue circle. I'll call that back up. Most of the time, it's alright to leave it off. Or turn your grid on maybe to make sure you're keeping things in frame or whatever. So probably not the best conditions to be showing this, but whatever. So this is my little dash mount thingy. I usually use a different phone for that, and it's a little bit too wide for my iPhone 5, but whatever. This is for purposes of this, it'll suffice. Get everything set up, before you're going. I'm going to use the one we created, the T. Set that bad boy right up there. And, in most cases, it doesn't take much more attention than, flipping the seek on your radio. I'm going to caution everybody, do as I say, not as I do. Don't ever vine and drive at the same time. That having been said, that's what I'm about to do. So give me 1 second to put on the bracket here to try to do hands-free. Alright, so as you can see, everything's set up. We got a little blue dot indicating that the Assistive Touch is on, and what's really cool about that is you can touch the screen, and as long as you don't let go, it won't fire. So you can hold your finger there as long as you want, and as soon as you let go, boom, it'll take the frame. And you can see that green line is actually a little thick. We made that touch a little too long. So I'm just going to switch out to the proper one, just for illustration purposes. And with the way this is set up, if you know you're moderately aware of what you're doing, you should be focusing on driving first and foremost, and just touch this whenever, you know, as kind of an afterthought. And it's pretty much just all automatic at this point. You can get away with doing as fast or as slow as you want. Obviously, the faster you do the taps, the slower it'll appear you're moving, relatively speaking, and probably the smoother the animation will be. And the faster, the slower you touch, the choppier. Whoops, we're getting out of line here. Anyway, the slower you go, the faster it'll appear you move, and the choppier the animation. I'm going to vary speeds here. I'm going to start doing fast right about here. I'm already moving pretty slow. And then I'm going to start slowing it up right about here. And I'm going to probably post this up on Twitter and post a link to it so you can see the final result. Yeah, the bracket on my rear view is obviously not a very rigid one. So I mean, this isn't a very scenic route, but you know, I'm not going out of my way. So that's around 180 taps. And let's pull her out. Turn Assistive Touch off. You just go back, touch that little dot again, and touch somewhere in the gray area, and let's see what we got. So there you go. You can see right there it slows down a little bit. Wait, speeds up, slows down, speeds up. Yeah. So that's all contingent on how fast or how slow you actually tap the screen. And you'll probably pick it up pretty quick after doing a couple. So that's just for motion time lapse kind of stuff. You can do it with stop motion. You can, if you're doing it with stop motion, you might want to throw ghost mode on, so you can see what the previous frame was. And that's pretty much it.